good, YouTube? So today is inauguration day, and I said I wasn't gonna watch it, and I haven't been. But I have been looking at my social media feed and uh, different media outlets and social media outlets, and just been following it and looking at it in different times and ways or whatever. But the thought that comes to my mind really is as we're in this transition phase, and from a political standpoint, is just how we must focus our energy on our own transitioning and our own political stance in life. And I'm just talking about life period, not in this country or nothing like that, because this life is bigger than this country or this other country, or what I'm saying. It's really composed of everybody and everything on this planet. So yeah, that's what we as Americans tend to be so compartmentalized in our thinking, meaning we think the only thing that's real is what's going on in this country, and that's just not true. Though the world may watch what we do and our actions, which they should, and the problem about that is that they watch our actions, but no one holds us accountable what we do from a worldly or a foreign relations standpoint. We need somebody to be able to hold this country accountable and be able to somebody we have to answer to when we don't do things right. And that's what this particular administration will need. They'll need some type of overseer, if that makes sense, because I just don't trust this particular administration to behave maturely like the last administration. Honestly, I feel like they'll do a lot of childish and very immature and very irresponsible things. But that's neither here nor there. I really want to talk to you about anxiety and what anxiety does to the body. And the reason why I chose to start the video off with talking about the inauguration, because the inauguration is probably causing a lot of anxiety in people right now. And all people who have any kind of real conscious thinking or are open to new thought and just open to change, period, they see this situation, they're like, ugh, you know what I'm saying? So that's going to cause a level of anxiety. So that is a very important spirit to talk about, and that's the spirit of anxiety. Most people suffer from it. Probably not all people suffer from it at some point in their life and don't deal with it properly and actually create a pattern in their mind that constantly recreates the anxiety and makes it grow stronger and causes people to become anxious primarily. Um, and understand the way you kind of begin to cure anxiety is to actually achieve a mental level of stillness, which require you to meditate or do some form of movement meditation like yoga or running. Preferably something that's not gonna cause a lot of stress, but it's actually gonna uh, create a lot of relaxation in the body. So sometimes running is not the best thing unless you're somebody who's very high strung already. And in that case, running would be very good for you because it actually burn up that all the anxious energy that you're using to uh, operate your mind. So what happens, I guess I'll start with where anxiety kind of is created. See, anxiety is created when you actually encounter a situation that you may have seen or not foreseen, and it begins to happen and you don't deal with it in a relaxed manner. Actually, you deal with it with more tenseness, or tension. Trying to solve a problem using tension instead of relaxation. And I'm talking about how your mind works. Your mind's tense. Like, you got to think of your brain as being like a muscle. And when you're trying to think clearly, you really should allow your brain muscle to relax in order for it to work properly. Um, and what happens when most people are anxious is that their brain is very tense and is very troubled and stressed. And so they're trying to make a decision. Um, or catering emotion based on how tense they are or the tension they're feeling instead of the relaxation. So if you understand, if you can make a decision from a relaxed mind, then you can actually make a better decision than if you did on a more tense mind. And same thing, making a better decision in fear, or as though if you were making a decision in peace. You know what I'm saying? If your mind's in a fearful state or if your mind's in a peaceful state, which mind can you make a better decision with? Now, a lot of people think that operating off fear helps them, and they are benefited from it because maybe in the past they've had a fearful moment happen and they thought on their feet really quick, and they thought, "Hey, this is I found a good thing." So sorry, sitting here wrestling with my boys, but once that happens, that becomes now you've made this a habit or you've made this a pattern. And one second, okay, sorry, back. So get to the cure. So you got to begin to, first of all, recognize when anxiety pops up inside of you. Recognize when you're feeling anxiety, where it's coming from. Usually it's going to come from the area of your kidneys or your liver, your subconscious mind, I should say, your lower body. That's where anxiety is going to generate from. You're going to feel it. A lot of times when you start to experience anxiety any kind of way, you need to become very conscious at that moment. When I say conscious, this is what I really mean by consciousness. And people think that conscious, oh, you know what white people are doing, you know what these people are doing. That's not conscious. That's a level of awareness, but it's not consciousness. I only associate consciousness with the body and how the body, and how aware of your body you are, and how aware of the body around you are. So we're getting back to consciousness. So conscious of the body, conscious of how you feel in your body, conscious of your emotions, conscious of your thoughts, conscious of how these emotions and thoughts affect your body. That's consciousness. Consciousness of your cells, conscious of your bones, conscious of your skin, conscious of your hair. You're conscious of all these things that have sensors, that have nerve endings. That if they have nerve endings, that mean they're meant to feel. They're meant to translate some information to your brain for your brain to interpret and to tell you, the being inside, or the being that's hosting this body. So if you're gonna begin to cure anxiety and other lower forms of energy like fear and envy and jealousy and all these other things, you gotta become more conscious of yourself. The more conscious of yourself become, the more you can begin to literally zap these particular entities inside of your mind and prevent them from causing havoc or destruction of your body, because that's what they do. They're the 7 deadly sins. They're deadly for a reason, not because of what they do on the outside of you, but what they do to you on the inside. Don't get me wrong, they're just as destructive on the outside, but if you can prevent it from the inside from happening, then you can begin to remedy the outside as well. So we're talking about anxiety right now. Anxiety is a big killer, especially I feel amongst African American men, because it starts to play on our heart and it starts to pull on our heart, and we can't make decisions properly, and that leads to more and more stress and indecision, and that begins our downward spiral to high blood pressure, hypertension, and all these things that seems to only plague us or at least kill us. So that's the reason why I'm making this video about anxiety. And I'll probably have to make a part 2 in order to get all the information out I want. But being aware of these anxious thoughts and how once you get the thought, and then how you begin to make decisions after the thought is everything. So if you're getting an anxious thought like me, I have a lot of anxiety when it comes to money, right? So if I start thinking about a lot of money, or if I start thinking about a lot of money I might have to come up with, I start to get anxious, which a lot of people do. What I have to do in that moment is slow down my mind and begin to think, okay, what's the first step? So say you got to come up with $1,000. All right. Instead of thinking about how I'm going to come up with it, I start thinking about solutions to how I can get $1,000 in the time I need to get it. And literally writing these things down and coming up with an idea, talking to people who I know could help me. You know what I'm saying? Praying about it, meditating on it. These are my actions I take when I start to feel an anxious thought. Not continuously going down that road of anxiety and getting it worse and worse. And then next thing I know, I'm depressed. You see what I'm saying? So you got to come up with an exercise that's going to help to eliminate your anxiety. And it has to be exercise just like you would go work out. You see what I'm saying? It has to be the same type of routine where it's physical, but it also plays on your mental and your spiritual. Probably going to make a part two to this. It's not really enough, but I wanted to bring up the inauguration and anxiety. Probably going to make a part two here in probably like 30 minutes. Let me get my mind together. Appreciate y'all listening. Part two coming next. Peace.